Orphan Acrobat, Red Monkey, and Dreamer Chris, we got together and we basically just made lists of the games we want back. We're just gonna sit around and just kind of like have this conversation again. Does anyone want to go first?
Now, is this what we want remade or a next version of another game?
No, I'm not talking about like a remaster. I'm talking about like I want it back, like either a sequel or like a remake, like how Resident Evil got remade, where it's like almost a new game.
Yeah, I can see that with all the ones I want.
My number 10 spot, Spyro the Dragon.
Wow,
that's a good pick.
Yeah, because they came out with.
Don't get me wrong, the game fucking sucked. But the concept of them running around with a freaking dragon is awesome.
Yeah,
it was just before its. Not, I'm gonna say it's before its time, but it has some cool elements and things you could do in it, like gliding.
It was a waste of a character. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, they've come out with a couple, especially with more fightable characters that you can use to switch through just from the same universe.
He's a freaking dragon. He stayed the same size the whole time.
He's a baby.
Little dragon.
Yeah, he's a baby though.
All right, but he needs bigger dragons to give him power. He should be able to grow a little bit.
But
it's magic in the game.
Not with dragons though. It's kind of an age thing. So the older you are, the bigger you get.
So my question for you is like, if
Sorry, I heard some more shit on my channel.
You a dragon? He can fly. He can spit fire and everything. Like,
so you want something that's less rated for kids, more rated for adults.
Yes,
but still Spyro. Like Spyro grew up with us.
You want Spyro, but like Game of Thrones Spyro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that.
Okay. I ain't actually opposed to that idea.
I'm not. Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. To see our games actually age with us would be a pretty awesome thing, actually.
Yeah. Like Spyro ain't a kid no more. That's a brand right there. He's not for typical Spyro. You know, like he could be on some God of War joint. You know what I'm saying?
That's what typical Spyro.
That's all I'm saying though. Think about it. You can fly around, you see a village, you need to fly by it.
Well, I mean, the whole premise of Spyro was that he was trying to recover his family. Like he was trying to save the other dragons.
All they do is like slay the rest. After he got his family back, they killed his family anyway. So
was it humans that did that though? In the game, I don't remember who.
It's been a long time, bro.
It has been a long. You know, they just made a remake for Spyro.
I don't think there were any human.
That's one of the remake.
The Spyro remake in 2018. It was basically it was Spyro Reignited Trilogy compilation for PlayStation 4. And that was like 2018. So we're talking like
it was a couple
6
years
ago at this point.
Yeah.
Why do you want it back?
I love that freaking game. It was boring. There was a fucking dragon. Back when you was that age, you could run around with a dragon and set shit on fire. Ghosts.
As the dragon, nothing really besides Aragon.
For a 30-year-old back then.
It should have been.
You should have my childhood, Justin. I'll beat your ass.
Just give me an adult version of Spyro. That's all I'm at.
I mean,
I feel like Spyro is a great mascot character though, but I feel like when it came to like the dialogue in that game like that, I always found it as a kid very quirky and funny and stuff like that. Oftentimes I would play Spyro and just be getting a kick out of the cutscenes. I remember playing Ripto's Rage, and you kind of get a little bit of piece of Ripto in the beginning of the game. And he's like, "You little bastard, you finished my cake." You're just like, "Yeah, bitch, I'm gonna do a lot more to you too."
My number 10 is Def Jam Vendetta.
Oh,
yeah. Forgot about that game.
Def Jam Vendetta. Where you got to play as the rappers, but they were wrestling.
Ain't nobody keep scratching me because you want to scratch.
So you say specifically Vendetta, so we're just going to act like Icon didn't happen.
Yeah, we're going to pretend Icon didn't happen. Icon was terrible.
Yeah, that's a bad game.
Icon was terrible. But just like take all the rappers that have come out ever since then. Like you might get like Kanye West in there. You might have Lil Wayne in there. You might have like fucking Kendrick and Cole. Right.
Be like the final boss.
You might have Kendrick and J. Cole in there. They have like a creative character mode. It'd be way more robust. Cool stages. Oh, man.
So many people that just pop up nowadays, though. It'd be kind of difficult to narrow it down to who you want to put. Or else that game would be massive. Yo, some like
should be like the new guard.
You need a certain degree. That'll be the setup. That'll be the setup for the storyline. It's like there's a new guard of, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. A new guard kind of stepping in, trying to take over and stuff. And so the old guards kind of stand in their way. And so it ends up with like one big ass like Avengers Civil War type scene where all the old guard rappers and all the new guard rappers like go to battle against each other.
It'd be dope if it was kind of like a metaphor for the current rap game.
True.
It's like the old school rappers actually have all the skill They don't have all like the same recognition. You know, if you go to see a fight and stuff like that, you select a new guy.
And maybe they don't have as much style. Maybe they relied a lot more on skill, but the newer guys rely a lot more on style. And so it's kind of like, who's got, you know what I'm saying? Is my skill better?
That's why the old school characters are going to be classic controls, and the new school characters are going to be modern controls. Or something. Like if you play a little baby, you just have one button combos and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine the new game they try to do like TikTok dances as their fighting moves?
Right.
That could be its own fighting.
Right.
That'd be insane, though.
The only problem with that is it would get them guys to get along. A lot of these rappers do not get along these days.
No, or that could actually feud bigger beef, though.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, my character whoop your character ass all the time. Like, you ain't shit.
I'm surprised that we have not had these type of bars in rap before. Like, I whoop your ass in Def Jam Vendetta, you know, etc. You know, this shit came out in 2003.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
How's that make you feel? 2003. I was in 10th grade.
I was 10.
No way.
I'm a 93, baby.
I was 14, 15.
15, 16. About 15.
03? Because I know I was 13 and 01. So, yeah, 15.
I actually came from EA. They did a good job.
But that was before EA became the evilest company on the planet.
That's true. Their rival was THQ, and I feel like they held up pretty good compared to them.
Medal of Honor Airborne.
Airborne? I never played it before.
Love that one. Honestly, I've never really been into shooters. Just not the most accurate person out there. One of the few games I've actually completed. You know me, I'm not very big into finishing games. I'll play a lot. We'll finish anything. And just the whole dynamic of it. After all your mainstream stuff, Call of Duties, Gears of War is one of my other favorite shooting games. But a lot of these stuff is like, oh, I ain't gonna lie, I get halfway confused playing most of these damn shooting games nowadays, so I kind of avoid them.
I get lost.
But right, Medal of Honor is one of those games I've actually beaten a couple times. They tried my hand online, got absolutely wrecked, but it's kind of the fun of playing games. And there are different builds and everything to how you want to play the game. When one of my playthroughs, I played primarily as a sniper. That game was actually pretty good. A lot more challenging than I expected, especially when you're trying to shoot the backpack of a nigga with a flamethrower. That had the craziest freaking range in it in the world. Took him out with a sniper rifle. Took like 7 shots, but it's a pretty good game. And you can either really and truly go in 2 directions. You can either take it back to a classical war like the Vietnam War. No. Or you can do something more modern times.
Back in the day, that World War shit.
I mean, some of them is done.
But most of the War from Battlefield was amazing.
Yeah, but after that, a lot of games like first shooting games like start doing the same exact thing.
I mean, that's true, but how many different directions?
So we're talking about a paratrooper.
Exclusively.
This was like a single player game about a paratrooper, from what I understand, right?
And because I think it's World War II, I think it's based around. So it's literally you landing on the beach, having them establish a beachhead, push up,
and you kind of it's the Battle of Normandy.
And it's you take a city, that's it. You move on, jump back again to do the same thing to try and take the cities one at a time as it's going through. Trying to do something like that nowadays will be a lot more difficult.
I think it'd be fire modern day.
It
because
would.
If you think about what we can do with like the consoles that we have, I feel like if you took a Medal of Honor game, even if it's like a Call of Duty clone, and you just like have the story mode and the main character is jumping out of planes every mission, I feel like you could spin that so many different ways. You could do that in naval battles. You could do that in ground attacks and stuff like that. You could have him falling out of planes by accident.
Yeah.
You know, the plane gets shot down before the mission even starts, and you got to start from somewhere completely different than where you thought.
I actually think that was one of the scenarios. And if you do something more modern day, you can actually include wingsuits in that. So do more of like a stealth type mission where you actually have the wingsuit in.
Oh my god,
that's sick, bro.
But that's also like one of the scenes we've seen in Army of Two, where both guys are jumping in together, strapped to each other. You got the one guy in the front trying to snipe people out so you can land in a safe area. Doing something like that under the same concept would be dope. Army of Two be one of those games too that would also make another one or a complete remake of the franchise.
We're just gonna do one at a time, but yes, I thought that also might be on your list.
That's a good.
We tried to play Army of Two. That shit was harder
Oh
than we thought it
my
was gonna
god!
be.
I was
We got to the end of the game. We're like one stage, like 2 stages away, and it's like, bro, like,
The game glitched
there's
on
so
us.
many people. The game glitches, and there's just so many people. Like
To
you're on an
kill.
aircraft carrier, and it's like every single
Yo,
and it's
yo.
one-shot kills.
Bruh, and
Feels like we're just playing. Are we playing on difficult?
I don't even think we are.
Feels like it.
I was sitting there laughing. That shit was funny as hell, bro.
So my number 10 is called Shadow Hearts Covenant. Have you ever heard of it?
I haven't.
Shadow Hearts is an RPG for the PlayStation 2. Its sequel is called Shadow Hearts Covenant. It's about this guy. Well, it's about what your usual JRPG is about. It takes place in kind of the Steam era, and they're trying to stop a god from being summoned. This dude, the main character, is a reincarnation of a demon called Almon, and you can actually transform in battle. At least 2 of the characters can do that.
Wait. Is this the one? The chick was a dude.
She has red hair and she has like a rapier. She's like a cop or something like that, or like an investigator. But it's a very interesting game because the way the mechanics works is you make multiple attacks and you can gain them along the way. And it's got a spinning wheel.
I've seen that game before.
I played one of them.
There's only 2 games: there's Shadow Hearts and Shadow Hearts
I played
Covenant.
one with the Indian chick, and she had a dude. The Indian dude shot with the pistols and shit.
I believe that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because our man is on the In and Out one too, I think.
So it's a really good game, and it's got a really good story as far as like RPGs go. And I just love to see what they could do with it modern day.
The fighting system is dope.
I know that Square is doing their thing, and like video games are real cinematic, but I think Shadow Hearts Covenant, they're really good into it. Not to mention it's a video gamer's video game. If they bring it back, what I would want out of Shadow Hearts Covenant is basically the exact same experience. I want back the same system and everything. I just want beautiful graphics and an awesome storyline. Do whatever you want to. Bring back the old character, bring back the second character. I don't care.
That'd be cool.
But make it just as stylish as it was. Oh, you know what? One thing we forgot to talk about? I wanted to actually ask each of you what we think the chances of these games coming back are. So, like, you went first. What do you think our chances are of getting
A new Spyro?
a new Spyro?
Slim to none.
Man, I feel like that shit could happen. I would say it's a 10 to 20% chance within the next 5 or 6 years.
I don't think so because they expanded the Spyro universe. So a couple years back, so they had it. I think it was for like the Wii, and they had it so like there was a docking system that you can use that you can go into like stores and buy characters from the Spyro universe to plug in to play. So I like if they didn't pull it back then when Spyro was actually really big. I remember working at GameStop and students like kids coming in like, oh my god, I'm looking for I need. Or they used to have a freaking whole like wall full of just the characters, and people's like, I'm really looking for whatever one of the goddamn characters.
Flame Dragon Blue, yeah.
What the rest of the characters weren't even dragons. Spyro was the only dragon.
Oh.
The other there were like different elementals, fairies, golems, like a bunch of like a whole spectrum of characters. But they were all
dragons
kids.
were like what Samus's people were in Metroid, where they were like they give you a power up and then be like, oh, I'm back. I'm turning stone now. You know, it was like that, right? They weren't free.
Yeah.
All right.
What about a Medal of Honor? What do you think our chances of getting that back? That's like 0%. That's like 1% chance.
Yeah, because I don't know why they got rid of the Medal of Honor universe. Call of Duty kind of like kicked everybody out.
That's why. The only reason if Call of Duty like dies one day, which is highly unlikely, the money it just makes, Medal of Honor would have a chance of coming back. But I feel like while it's out there.
Because let's keep it real. What other shooting game is there that's big like that?
Shit, just the free to play ones.
You know, Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh, Fortnite beat everybody's ass, but it's free to play, so it cheated.
Like Gears does good, but Gears is kind of an exclusive just to Xbox.
I say if you're an Xbox owner, people usually have Gears. I say it as well.
Mm.
What about
Def Jam?
I say like very low percentage.
Given that EA makes it, I ain't even gonna say what are the chances it would come back. I would ask you, given EA's practices with like the microtransactions, would you want it to come back?
Not from EA. I would want someone else to make it.
Yeah.
EA.
Well, fuck that.
Word around here, goddamn.
Look, they'll mess around and stuff so many microtransactions and that shit. You can only buy this. You got to buy the rappers individually, right? And they $15 a pop, and we're gonna sell your in-game currency, and you got to buy it in packs.
They're gonna be selling drip. They're gonna be like, you can buy this pair of J's for your character. It's gonna be expensive.
$25. It's gonna be as much as it is, damn near as much as it is in real
I
life.
see that shit, but it'd be a good money grab, though. Don't get me wrong.
Because EA are assholes, so I could see them like microtransaction every part of it. Like I imagine they would bring it back. Like I could see it coming back by 2030. But I'm willing to bet you're not gonna like how it come back.
I could see a game with rappers that's not Def Jam, but I don't think that Def Jam itself is gonna come back. It's just too many people to pay. People are greedy.
Yeah, because everybody wants a cut.
But Ninja.
Yeah, Ninja.
Yeah, that would be a good.
So you gotta explain about these two about what Ninja is, because I don't
I've
know.
never played
All right,
Ninja.
you never played Ninja? Like Eric, you had a PlayStation, right? When you was a kid.
Mhm.
First
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1, right?
My dad had it, but yeah.
All right, well, you used to have this demo disc. That's the first time I ever played. It was like an orange and black joint. It used to come out the Tips and Tricks magazine. All right, it was a game.
It's called Ninja Shadow of Darkness.
Yeah. Ninja dies, come back to life, and he going to find a motherfucker that killed him. So you traveling through
Okay. Classic revenge game.
classic revenge game. It's top view, a little bit.
They do like some side views. They changed it. They play with the camera a lot in the PSX games.
There's a lot of camera changes in the game, but pick up magic tricks and shit. Yeah, it was
not an easy game.
It was not
It was
easy.
like had classic game style of
Difficulty. Oh
yeah, I
shit.
think it would be a good game though, but one thing I say I do different, like up the graphics, keep the difficulty, but make it Dark Souls like.
You want it Souls like where you lose like stuff when you die?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the Souls aspect of the game.
Oh.
The original Ninja was not Souls like anyway. I'd rather just
right?
die and eat my lumps and start over. That's too easy these days.
Like we're adults, like you die. You have to
I don't want to
some
be an
kind of
adult. I
consequence.
don't want to be an
Some kind of
adult.
consequence. At the end, though,
The
this game,
consequences, you gotta start over, you know. Maybe you lose your
Fighting with
resources,
your
but not my
points,
level. Not my points, my experience.
I don't want to think about it. I mean, I'm just having guy like a challenge, so yeah, make Ninja them Dark Souls like.
Nah, nigga, I was dying to.
That made me think about Ninja Gaiden. And Ninja Gaiden itself is already
It is
ridiculous.
extremely hard, but it's not Souls like. You don't lose any experience upon dying.
True.
You just get, so what do you think our chances of getting another Ninja Shadow of the Darkness is?
I mean,
It was made by Eidos, so the same people that made Tomb Raider and Get.
yeah.
Someone else makes Tomb Raider now. Eidos doesn't make Tomb Raider no more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do
I
they
don't even
still?
think that company exists anymore.
They might be different, man. I don't know.
Isn't Eidos like a part of Square Enix now?
Might be.
We're like Crystal Interactive. Because remember, I think Eidos made Legacy of Kain.
Yep.
Yes, they did. Oh, it's like you said, Chris. You called it, bro. In 2009.
Man, I know.
So okay,
I was just spitting in the wind. Fuck.
Wait, so they can make it RPG like. Oh my god!
Well, Square can make that shit a action RPG because that's what they do these days.
Yeah, that would be
better.
That would be so much better.
You have to add. Well, we have to expand on it because the game, from what I remember,
he had no
it didn't
comrades,
have that much story, dude. It was just you get in there, you get your shit, and it was more gameplay than story. So they would have to add a lot to it, but the chances are not 0%.
I give it a good 30 to 40% chance.
That's real.
Because I remember them.
10%.
I remember Eidos also. Like I said, I remember they made Legacy of Kain, and I remember they were with what is that, Crystal Interactive, and I know Crystal Interactive made that terrible Avengers game from a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
So, Rogue Galaxy. I want a Rogue Galaxy remake.
The Star Wars joint?
Yeah.
Rogue Galaxy is not Star Wars.
It's not like
Rogue
it's
Galaxy
not
is a JRPG that takes place in space.
across multiple planets.
What? Neither have I.
Yeah. It was a PS2 RPG. It came out about 06, 05, 06.
Didn't we get another Rogue Galaxy? I could have swore I seen something like that on PlayStation.
A remake of the original with nowadays graphics and nowadays engines, where you really could like go exploring like a solar system. That'd be fucking
You
cool.
don't get too many like straight up exploring games like that very often.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
They even had like a system where you could build a factory and build all the legendary weapons in the game, but you got to get the recipes from different planets across the galaxy. It was dope as shit.
is that kind of like what's the game called? Outer Worlds?
Yeah, and a lot of
just been a re-release. That is what I've been seeing.
probably.
What I've been seeing is the Rogue Galaxy that you've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah, it probably was just a re-release. Honestly, a remake with nowadays graphics would be fucking great. That was an amazing. That's from the end of the PS2 era, like the
2007.
the tail end of the PS2 era. As a matter of fact, when that game came out, we got that and we got Final Fantasy 12. We took Final Fantasy 12 back. We never played it again, and we only played Rogue Galaxy for like
the Bunny Girl.
Yeah,
it was underwhelming. It's because it was based off of the online version.
Yeah.
The same engine.
I didn't like. Oh no, you good. I didn't like the fighting system. I hated the fighting system on 12. It's just boring as shit. I felt like it took a lot of the control out of my hands. But Rogue Galaxy, we found that shit. Man, that game ended up being one of the best RPGs I ever played. I would love a remake. I don't know who makes it though, or how they would go about making a new one.
It came from a developer called Level 5. They were published by Sony Interactive.
Didn't they make Dark Cloud?
I think they did.
I would take a refresh. I mean, because the story is really 2000s, aughts era story. So it's a lot of it's some bullshit. It's a lot of cliches and tropes in there. You could probably flip it and do some more interesting things with the story. But like that setting and those characters and shit like that, and the fighting system, you could keep that and just like port that nowadays and just update the graphics and stuff like that and give it a better story. Fucking Rogue Galaxy would be crazy nowadays. I feel like people would go crazy because all it is what people wanted Starfield to be. Like Starfield mixed with Final Fantasy.
So we basically know what you want out of it. What do you think our chance of getting another Rogue Galaxy is? Higher chance of games that we've had in a while.
Maybe I actually, especially with nowadays craze on like doing remakes and re-releases, I could see us getting a new one within the next, by 2030.
I say it's a coin flip. We might get that shit within the next few years. I say in like 4 or 5 years, it's a coin flip. Because Rogue Galaxy is on the store. It looks like people are still playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't mad at it. It's an ambitious game, though. Like everything we just talked about, they ain't even got to do none of that stuff.
Remember this, though. Look what they did with the original Rogue Galaxy on PS2 hardware. It was something like 8 different worlds you could go to, and they were fairly fleshed out. Different enemies, different everything. And they did that on PS2 hardware. So I can only imagine.
Well, the graphics nowadays, that'd be insane.
Shit, even look at Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is a really good analogy for what Rogue Galaxy would be, where you exploring different worlds and all the things are different about it. Kingdom Hearts 3 is gorgeous.
I'll go Bully.
Oh my god.
Good one.
Remake or like
a whole new game.
Yeah, a whole new game.
Yeah, the online.
Bully 2?
That's the Steam.
Nah. You need both. That's gonna
be on Steam.
Not because if you do online, it has to be like you forming cliques. This is honestly this is probably the reason Bully never came out with another one, because this was such a good game. Bullying in modern society now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So because of that, I highly doubt it will ever come out with another one.
He wasn't the real bully. The bully was the villain of the game. That free ass kid that was fucking people up. He was the actual bully. Now our character, you did have the option to fuck people up in the hallways and stuff like that.
He was the delinquent,
but like he wasn't like he was more of an anti-hero than anything. He wasn't the bully in my opinion.
I feel like if that game was actually online, that shit would go like GTA levels of people just randomly coming up there and just slap like fucking people up.
I feel like it'd be chaos.
Modern society is way too violent.
You can go into the wood shop and shit like that. Wood shape cooking wood making class. Yeah, wood shop class, and make like the items that you need to do all kinds of bully shit.
So it really depends on when you would bring it, because if you bring it to like more modern times, online bullying would be a bigger thing.
Here's another thing too, though. We live in America and we have like a school shooting problem.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to make games take place inside of school anymore because it's like a sensitive thing that people are either really vocal about or really silent about.
Very much.
These are the reasons. You were absolutely right when you hit the nail on the head. Bully didn't come out because we live in America and there's lots of like sensitive subjects going on right now and political battles over like guns. And we really do we're a mass shooting ass country. We get like a mass shooting every single week.
Seems like it.
But Bully didn't have no guns in it, so it's not like
But they had creative ways to get around your problems.
I want another bully. I feel like you can make that shit without stepping on any toes and stuff like that. If you make it like the other game, where it's just sort of like people are still doing fisticuffs and stuff like that, keep that shit in the 90s if you have to. But like the concept is too good for them to let it go now.
Now, if they don't give us, if they don't give us a number 2, just a update on graphics on that game, would actually be really dope. I would like
a second school for you to drive to and bully the kids in the second school.
That's what it would be right there.
Like,
yes. Yo, the 2 delinquent schools in the game, in the world, have beef with each other. And you are a transfer student from the old school to the new school, but you left the old school in bad blood. So now they trying to come to the other delinquent school that you're at and try to start shit and pop off. And you just so happen to form a clique, which is how this game is based off multiplayer. Some people, everybody just happened to transfer to school. Y'all kind of,
which would be a fun play on the idea of bully 2, as in 2 bullies or more than 1 bully. So you can form like little gangs, little school gangs.
Make Bully of 2 like Army of 2.
I want that Tenchu Stealth Assassin.
It is. It's number 1 on my list.
Never heard of that one.
That's my number 1.
So when we get to you guys' list, we're gonna come back to it and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna tell you why I want Tenchu back. So Tenchu, I'm gonna bring you back to my nostalgia. I was a little kid in like elementary school. I had this uncle that loved video games. He used to bring over new video games all the time just for me to play. One day he brought over Tenchu Stealth Assassins. For me, a little kid, 8, 9 years old, I was just sort of like, hold up, I'm around to sword fight all these motherfuckers. Carl, I never been killed so fast in a video game in my entire life, not even in Mario 1. So he was just like, no, that's not how you play this game. This was my first stealth game. He was like, you're supposed to sneak up on people. You're supposed to be stealthy like a ninja. And after that, it was just this love affair. It's an old game. It came out. It's like a demo disc game. That's how old it is. A lot of people just played the first stage on a demo disc. And it actually came out with a lot of other games. Me and my little sister played a Tenchu that came out on PS2 and it had co-op on it.
Yeah,
and you had
I remember that.
You had to kill people at the same time in order to get past your objectives and stuff like that. You remember that shit too?
Mm-hmm.
That was the second part because old dude was so strong. Like the main boss was fighting, he was fighting the shadow the whole damn time. That shit was bad as hell.
So Tenchu dropped actually in. It doesn't even say. 1998, Carl.
God damn.
1998. I was a little kid.
I was 5.
I was in middle school.
I was 10.
Nigga, I was 5.
So
I was a whole 10-year-old.
Since I know these guys have it on their list, we can talk about what we want from the issue as we move down. I'm just going to talk about my Tenchu experience and move on.
Fighting Force.
Ooh, bro, that's my number 7. Let's go.
Fighting Force. Give me one more character. Better than. The game was hard as shit. I don't care what nobody says.
Ask Carl and Chris if they know what Fighting Force is.
Have you ever heard of
I don't. I don't.
Show them, man.
I got to move the laptop and stuff. I'm sorry. Hey, you got your phone. Look up Fighting Force real quick.
It was the first beat 'em up game, multiplayer. That was 3D. Like 3D.
Yeah.
Oh,
God damn. You can literally like pull weapons off of cars and off of benches and stuff and use them and hit your enemies with.
No, Justin took us way back. This game came out in 1997.
Do you know how many times?
I was 4.
Yes. I had it on a demo disc, bro. There's only 2 playable characters.
My brother, I told my brother he was in a station in Korea, so he had access to a lot of games. I was like, bro,
oh my God, this graphics
look like, man, my brother,
this graphics looks horrible.
Been playing this shit on the demo disc. So can you get it for us? A week later, it was in my mailbox. Me and my twin brother skipped school 2 days. Just to beat that game.
So I have a quick question for you before we continue. Did you play Fighting Force 2 and how do you feel about it compared to the first one?
I played like the first stage and I absolutely did.
Wait, you played on the PlayStation or the 64?
PlayStation. I didn't know it was on 64.
I think that's what this is.
So there was a game called, the sequel was nothing like the first game. It was more of a shooting game than a beat 'em up. You could still beat people's asses, but he had a gun and it was single player and a lot of people had a problem with. Actually, to be honest with you, Justin, Fighting Force 2 is actually a good game. It's just not what we wanted at all. You know?
I want like combos. I want team up combos and shit. Like each character, like one character can have like throw somebody up in the air and like roundhouse them out the goddamn air or something. Like, it's gonna be like a 4 players. Like, but here's the difference: the 4 players need more enemies, and this time have an XP based game, so we level up. Yeah,
we gotta have progression in video games modern day. It can't be like the old school ones where you have to beat everyone.
We gotta fight. We gotta have something to fight towards. Like I just don't want to go through the whole game with the same combo.
Even Don't Starve had skill trees.
Yeah,
that's true. I was surprised at that.
And I think Fighting Force would be a good game to remake.
I think so too.
We got online play now.
That'd be hard.
It was made by a developer called Core Design. I don't even know if they're still around anymore. I think our chances of getting this game is like 0%. Dude, that shit barely. You're like the only person who knows about this shit, Justin. I promise you.
Old man.
They got 5. They had 5 employees in 2010.
Oh my god.
There's no way Fighting Force is coming back out. I put that shit at 1% chance. I'm not gonna say 0.
It's low. A lot of people never heard of. I'm that old, but
Core Design is the original home of Lara Croft and Tomb Raider.
Power Stone 3.
Oh my god! How did I not think about that?
Where the flaming fuck is my remake? Is my new Power Stone? It's an arena fighter where while you're in the middle of a fight, the stage is like dropping all kinds of cool ass weapons. Like you might get Mega Man's Buster Cannon, you might get a sword, you might get all kinds of weapons. Who knows? Who knows what kind of weapons you may get? But also on top of that are these Power Stones. If you collect 3 of them, you get a transformation, and the transformation make you broken.
So weapons like Smash?
You get way more.
Way more weapons.
More weapons than Smash.
As a matter of fact, you make your weapons. Once you awaken, you can buy weapons from out of the shop with the currency in the game, and you can also make weapons over time. So you end up with all kinds of shit. You might have like a Zweihander, you might have Mega Man's Buster Cannon, you might have. There's no telling.
Traps and vehicles.
Yeah,
they're straight up vehicles.
It looks good.
Some of the stages, you're not just standing in one place fighting for most of the stages. You're like moving around. Like maybe one stage you're like falling. You were on a blimp and the blimp got messed up, so you're like falling out of the sky and y'all like trying to kick each other's asses, and then you like laying down. That's my favorite stage.
And then you get to the bottom and there's a tank at the bottom, and you can like jump into the tank and start fucking people up if you want to.
Look,
there's another stage where it's like a Indiana Jones like style dungeon where like traps and stuff everywhere, and then like halfway through it, they're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna drop your motherfuckers in front of a rolling boulder," and you can still fight each other while the boulder's you can throw people into it. It's funny as hell.
You get roller skates,
skateboards, spears. There's got to be at least 200-300 weapons in this game.
What made Power Stone so hard? I'd bring it back with new characters. Team up modes where if one person get all 3 Power Stones, you and both members of the team share the power.
Oh shit!
Fair.
But I would counter that by having like certain abilities you can use, like anti-power stones. You know what I'm saying? That make it where when somebody use Power Stone attacks on you, it take less damage. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get beefier defense for when somebody uses their full form. Because some of the forms on Power Stone are stupid. The fucking ninja girl,
that was my
who
main.
like goes,
Ayame,
that was my main.
We always play the same characters.
I'll fucking hit your ass with the ninja stars.
Some of the same characters for some reason. How do you feel about a campaign? Because when we played Power Stone back in the day, me and my friend used to just let the co-op the arcade mode. So how do you feel about if they added like, instead of arcade mode, it's like 20-30 stages of co-op for you and your
That would be fucking fire. Because first off, Power Stone is one of them games that's like Smash Bros, where if you got somebody to play it with, you'll play it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours.
We were trying to unlock all the items. We played this. We probably put like 100 hours into this.
Man, Lord knows, and I don't think to this day that I ever unlocked all the items in Power Stone. I'm telling you, my favorite stage is still the one where you on the blimp and you like the blimp falls down and you gotta like fall from the sky. That's the best fucking stage though.
It has Gatling guns you can jump into on the wings.
What?
Yeah, the stages have certain little weapons attached to them and stuff, so you can like on that particular stage you can hop onto like a Gatling gun and shoot at motherfuckers.
Oh my god!
There's a submarine stage that has a hovercraft where you drop bombs on people. You just like flying around in a hovercraft. It's like, just fucking people up.
That Indiana Jones stage, if we're fighting and we're running from the boulder at the end, I can kick the shit out of you and you'll fall into the boulder and get damaged from the boulder.
I'll pick you up over my head.
and throw you into the boulder.
That shit came out in the year 2000. Power Stone 2 came out in the year 2000.
I
the same year as Marvel vs. Capcom
12
2.
years old.
Imagine Power Stone 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 being out at the same time.
Yep.
Jesus, what a time for games.
I remember seeing both of them shits too.
What a fucking time for. I had it on PSP. When they put Power Stone 2 out on PSP, I had it on PSP, and I remember I used to just play that shit. The only reason I got a PSP was because I seen they had Power Stone, because I didn't have a Dreamcast, but I always wanted to play Power Stone when it was on Dreamcast. But then I seen they put it out on PSP. Man, I must have fucking played that shit for like 3 years straight.
Dude, it's because of the item building. You can always. What'd you do? You always play arcade mode, but like, look, what did I get? Let's go to the forge and mix this shit. See what we can make. Oh shit, I made a fucking lightsaber, bro. I can't.
Oh shit, I made the Excalibur. Like,
dude, they got Excalibur in the game.
I could imagine if they did a remake now, if they did a newer version like Power Stone 3, you'd just be able to make all kinds of crazy fucking weapons. So, that's the original Arena Fighter. It's the best Arena Fighter, and it needs a new one.
Agreed.
But I think we only got about a 10% chance.
So mine is probably the game that actually got me into RPGs, Fable. I played all three of them. I'm not gonna lie. I just remember,
I didn't play Fable 3. I forgot about that shit.
One was straight. 2 was better.
It was broken.
Yeah, three was starting to get wild when I was playing it.
That's the one with the brother.
Dude,
I think so.
Fable 3, I felt like
Oh,
I didn't
10?
even hear about that shit.
Really?
Oh, 10.
I
think so.
Fable 3.
Yeah.
Yo, it's
shit,
and I'm not gonna lie, it's been so long.
He wrote his shit. He's so bro. This shit came out in 2010, so it was a while ago.
Yo, it's been so long straight up since I've played. I don't remember the game. I just know it's one of those games I've always loved. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I found my copy of Fable recently. And it was just like, I have no way to play this.
You got your Xbox?
Xbox is here.
Man, you can pull that shit up on your Xbox right now and play all 3 of them.
Bro,
like,
Fable was the
shit.
shit.
On your Xbox for like 3 years.
Yeah, it really has been. It really has been. Somebody was like, bro, Tony owns that shit by now. I was like,
no, it's yours. I'm just holding on to it for you.
It's
like playing. That's how we play Army of Two.
That's the only reason you brought it over here. You're like,
yeah.
Man, you're
fine. We started playing Killer Instinct on that shit.
I did try out Game Pass for a month, and I did enjoy myself. So I can't act like I didn't enjoy it.
But Fable's one of those games. It was so good. I would consider getting an Xbox again, just so I can get the next version of Fable. It'd be awesome to have all 3 of them remastered, bring up the graphics to modern day, just because of what it was.
So is that all you want out of it? Do you only want them to re-release it with better graphics?
No, I would love I would love a Fable 4.
So like, let's say we got Fable 4. What would you like to see out of that type of game?
Honestly, the same thing they've done with all the rest, because they've been such phenomenal games. Dude, y'all know my memory is horrible. I've been playing Fable since Fable 1.
Fable 1 and 2 were actually quite sick. Fable 2 would have been better if it was finished.
And it's like I feel like the further along Fable got, because if I'm not mistaken, Fable 1 you were a straight up child. Fable 2 you were about a teenager. Fable 3 you got
you got a wife in Fable 2.
Fable 2
you could have more than one wife in Fable 2 if I were
kids in Fable 2.
Right. So it as the games went, they progressed with you. So for me, having a Fable where you are about 20, 30, that'd be perfectly fine. Still give it the same story premise and everything going through. The graphics in the game are awesome. The different fighting styles in the game is one of the first games I played with. I could fight with a sword and a freaking pistol and magic if you wanted to. Those were your options.
Couldn't you also have like 2 different magics in each hand?
Yep.
Yes.
That's fucking cold.
So it's just straight up throughout this game. Unlike y'all, I don't really play fighters. I don't really play shooters. I love RPG games. I'm pretty sure this is the reason. Now, there are older games that I've played that have been classic RPG games, but RPG games is what I've always drifted to no matter what I play. Unfortunately, most games nowadays all follow the same premise. Maybe titled something different, they may be called something different, maybe set in different eras, but all games are so similar. It's like, why don't I want to play this?
I mean, what made Fable so unique, especially like Fable 2 and Fable 3, was the choices you can make in the game.
Exactly.
Because honestly, Fable 2, I did a whole playthrough doing nothing but good stuff. I did every good thing in the game. You get the strongest good weapon in the game.
Right.
My second playthrough, I did everything evil. I killed my master. I killed my mom. When you meet her again,
you killed your mom.
Your mom, though?
She was already dead. She was like, just destroy my spirit or some shit.
Oh, that's different. That's
okay.
different. I thought she made you like a sandwich or something.
No. Like, it's still effect. If you do the shit,
but and occasionally we do. Honestly, some of the better games we see are the games that give you that choice.
Yeah.
Like GTA wasn't the best story mode, but GTA gave you 2 or 3 options for the different heists that you had to do.
Ever since 4 with Nico Bellic and your cousin Roman and stuff, they've been giving you choices ever since then.
The only time where I like it, where I don't mind where a game doesn't give me choice, is where I know that they got a really badass story. Like God of War and God of War Ragnarok have such amazing stories that it's like, okay, y'all don't got to give me, you know what I'm saying? I don't need infinite choices for this game. I really just want to see how this story plays out. But generally, like as a rule, like give me some choices.
My number 7 is actually Fighting Force, like Justin said, for his number 8. So we're gonna skip me. But I'll say this about Fighting Force before we move on. If we get a Fighting Force back, here's what I want from it. I want basically the Turtle, the Shredder's Revenge. Have you played that with us?
Yes, I have.
I've heard of it. Yep, and I've seen it.
I want it to be like the 3D version of Shredder's Revenge. I want there to be like a ton of universal techniques and so many things you can do in the game that fuck people up. I want everything from like different types of throws, combos. I want it to be sort of fighting game like, but I just want it to be a big open world with lots of enemies to fight. Here's what I want. I want 3D Double Dragon.
Oh, that'd be hard.
That's an honorable mention, fellas, because that's not.
That's what Fighting Force was, though.
Yeah, it was.
And I just want it on modern day consoles with what we can do today. I want Dynasty Warriors level of enemies.
Oh my god,
that'd be crazy.
I haven't played that game in ages.
Marvel Avengers level of graphics. And I want interesting characters, because the characters were something generic. Air combos would be sick, like Castle
Team
Crashers.
Air combos, like I'm not one up, Tony jump up behind them and just hit him with a 5-piece. Like
Castle Crashers, where I could just juggle your ass. But like, I want more interesting character designs, because Fighting Force's original character designs were very
blocky.
PlayStation 1.
In 90s.
The main character didn't get an interesting design until the second game, and everybody fell off by then.
Yeah, the first one we had like what, jeans?
Yeah, he had jeans and a shirt on with a headband down.
Yeah.
And the second one, he looked like he was a ripoff of Solid Snake, which was a better look.
Yeah, I like the big guy though. I always like big. What's his name? Brick. What's his name? Brick or some shit?
Yeah, Brick.
Good neck.
Are we sure that wasn't for Anchorman?
No. I also got Tenchu on my list because, like, there's nothing better than I grew up playing Metal Gear Solid. Like that was our shit. So like stealth games were something we already played in our house to begin with. We was gonna play fucking Metal Gear Solid, Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden. Like we were already playing those games in the house.
Ninja Gaiden was not stealth. That was more.
Not really.
Ninja Gaiden is a survival game.
Right. True facts.
Come on now, Legend Dragoon. Oh my god, the fights.
The dragon transformations too. The Dragoon transformations are the hardest shit in a fight in an RPG. Period.
Like, picture playing at 2 a.m. in the morning. Your parents sleep, and you beat old dude and get your dragon spirit, the skull and shit. And when you get in the next fight, you turn into a whole entire dragon.
Yeah.
Then the rest of your team gets it, and all y'all turn into dragons at one time, the whole screen.
And then I also like that in your Dragoon form, every individual character had special level 3 moves that they could do, like they ultra specials, like they limit breaks, for example, for lack of a better term, they limit break for their Dragoon form, and to let them do some really fast shit. Like the girl with the darkness dragon to drown your ass in darkness and shit. Yeah, me too. Her name was Rose. Yep, Rose. Yeah, I was in. Me too.
Something here said Legend of Dragoon launches February 22nd, 2023 on PS4 and PS5.
Probably just a remake.
I
mean, not even a remake, but like a port.
Hopefully, they at least update the graphics. like
Oh.
the shit and stuff.
Yeah, the gameplay.
Look,
The story was great.
you know those time button presses?
But we got it a year late. I think
Yeah.
it came out a year before.
It came out in '98, but
You know what got me to get my mom? You know what got me to get my mom I asked my mom for that game for my birthday because it came out the summer of my birthday. I think it was 2000. My mom, I seen the commercial, and in the commercial, the dude is like, they like having a sword fight, and he cut the main villain guy's head off. He's like, "Oh my god, you cut my head off!" And the commercial was funny as shit. So I was like, "Hey, mom, that's the game I want." And like for my birthday that year, my mama got me that, and she got me Pokemon Red and Blue.
All right, the changes. Change the battle system. Make like Final Fantasy VII remake.
But keep the Dragoon transformations.
Here's the thing. Make it online play.
I feel like make it more like Kingdom Hearts. You know how Kingdom Hearts, you get the transformations in Kingdom Hearts, you can go into drive mode.
Yeah.
Like Legend of Dragoon, but just give it like that Kingdom Hearts. Like, so when you go into your Dragoon form, it's like a goddamn like an action RPG type of thing. Like, fuck, I went into my Dragoon form. Now I got a bunch of new moves. That'll be fire as fuck.
Just stay in action RPG at all times, but I feel like when you get your Dragoon form, that's when you should be like, first off, your mobility should be better. Like, let's say your character's running around the map, you got your Dragoon form, you're instead gliding now, you're way faster.
That's fine. That's fine.
You should be playing as a different character by then.
Yeah.
Base form, you just do a regular dodge, but when you're in your overdrive, you actually like glide out, you like use your wings and like throw out the way.
Ooh.
Like,
hey,
that shit be fucking insane. Yeah.
I'm gonna take it all the way back. Do y'all remember the bouncer?
Yes, made by Square.
Yes.
You need a multi-tap to play that game.
Yeah. Fucking the bouncer. It's an RPG game from the early 2000s.
It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, it really is a beat 'em up. I always just thought it was an RPG game. Look, it's fine. And you kind of like a bouncer in the club. I kind of want to say that's what you are.
And there's like a chick in a really bad situation, so you and your two homies,
yeah,
bouncers team up. So one of the guys, the main character, he kind of looks like Sora a little bit. He is like the Ryu of the game. He's really fun to play with. There's another guy. He's like the cool one. He's funny. He like fights with like Correa. He's real stylish.
Yeah,
he's the big guy. He just punches the shit out of people.
Yes.
It's a beautiful by Square. It's actually really fucking good.
Yep. I think, was it fully voiced over?
It absolutely was.
Yeah, because that was right after Final Fantasy X, and that's when they were really doing more. Was that after 10? I think it was after 10.
My memory's bad, dude.
I'm not sure.
My memory's bad. I ate shit.
Google that shit. I don't want to be wrong.
2000.
Wow. I was 12. I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, I never seen that before.
Look, that fucking game was so fire.
If my PC's strong enough to run it, one day we'll all get together and play an emulator of it. I'm gonna download it and test it.
That fucking game.
Guys, PC may be able to run that shit.
Yeah, I mean, because that's an early PS2 game, late PS1, early PS2 game. It should be able to goddamn do that shit.
Well, I knew that it was gonna be a long talk. I knew it was gonna be long because I was talking about 10. We really could have did 5.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna keep going, and then we can make a part 2 if you guys feel like it, because it's getting like 9 now. So in another hour, I'm gonna be tired and drunk. When I open up this other can, I'm not gonna be able to. Y'all ain't gonna want to see my ass.